Hi, I'm Victoria Pearson, but you can call me V, and we are having a bit of a quickie this week, I am afraid, because today is Friday and this is due out on Monday, and I've done nothing. I've done nothing all week. It has been such a busy week. I've been absolutely run off my feet this week, and so you're getting a very last minute cobbled together thing today, I am afraid. But we've just passed Halloween. This is the time of year when lots of new baby witches come out of the broom closet. And so I thought it would be the ideal time to share a couple of really basic safety tips with you. That being said, I've said the word baby witches there, purely so the algorithm will get this video in front of the right people. But let me tell you, I really loathe and detest the term baby witches, because you are not a baby. You are a strong magical being who is stepping into your power and claiming your birthright. And there is nothing babyish or infantile about that. And so I'm using it under duress. We'll pretend I'm not. I'm going to say young witches, new witches, because I really hate the term baby witches, but it seems to be really popular at the moment, so I knew you'd know what I meant. So let's hop straight into it then. I think we'll start off by talking about candles. The obvious one is that we don't leave a candle burning unattended, especially if we've got pets, or if, like me, you're a bit chaotic and messy. Yeah, we don't leave burning candles unattended because we don't want to burn our freaking house down. But some spells ask you to leave the candle burning until it's burnt out completely. And we don't all have 8 hours to sit there watching a candle, right? So, for spells where you have to burn the candle out completely, this type of thing works quite well. They're designed for spells and they're quite small candles. These ones burn for between 45 minutes and an hour. So for me, that works really well when I'm doing like a big ritual on one of the high days or the holidays. And I find them quite good for that. But sometimes you do just want to do a very quick spell, but you want your candle to burn out completely as well. And you maybe don't have time. You've got, say, 20 minutes and you've got to go. What I like to do then is get birthday cake candles. You can cut them in half to make them even shorter so they will burn out even quicker. And the best thing about birthday cake candles is that they come in all different colours, and so you can match the colour to your intention in your spell. So for example, I might get some gold or silver ones if I'm doing a money spell. I might get a green one for a health spell, or a pink or red one for a love spell. And when we're talking about that as well, it's really important that you don't have to sit there looking up what colour means what or whatever. It's about what it means to you. So for me, pink is self-love and romance and things like that. But for you, that might be a totally different association, and that is okay. There isn't a wrong way to practice. There isn't a wrong way to do your correspondences. If that's what a colour means to you, if yellow means happiness to you, then you use yellow for your happiness spells. But if yellow means something else to you, then you can use it for that kind of spell instead. That is okay. But yeah, so birthday cake candles are brilliant because you can burn them down really quickly. Just make sure that when you're buying them, you don't get those trick ones that you blow out and then they relight again, because those take forever to burn away. I can't even explain to you how long they take. They take longer than the big pillar candles, I think. Candles, we're going to always make sure that we're not leaving them unattended. And for the quick spells that we're doing, use birthday cake candles, or use the little candles like this so that you don't have to sit there for hours watching your flame, because there is a chance that you might fall asleep then, yeah? Same thing for incense, right? It might seem to you like you can put an incense cone on a wooden surface because you see lots of incense holders that are made of wood, but that's specially treated wood that is heat proof, right? Your furniture is not. When I was a child and I was paddling about with the occult with my friends, unsupervised in a house because it was the 90s, I thought that I could just put those incense cones out and about. I put one on top of my TV and burnt a big hole in it. I got in so much trouble, okay? Be careful with smouldering incense. If you don't have an actual incense holder to burn your incense on, put it on a plate or a saucer or in a cup or in a shot glass or something like that is heat proof, so that you don't end up with a fire hazard on your hands. While we are talking about fire hazards, it would be a good time to bring in the humble crystal ball. Now, in theory, this could happen with just about any crystal, but it is especially the case for these convex glass spheres, right? Extremely dangerous to leave uncovered in your house, not because the spirits are gonna, watch you getting changed or something like that, but because when the light hits this in a particular way, it can concentrate it. I don't know if you can see, I don't think you can. Can you see there that the light is really, really bright on just that part of my hand? That is because the light is being concentrated onto that part of the hand. Now that isn't feeling warm at the moment, but if I was to leave this in one position for days, and instead of my hand there's a piece of fabric like a curtain or a piece of paper or something like that, that is going to gradually heat up and start to smoulder. That can happen with any kind of curved glass. Right? It works the same way as a magnifying glass. You know, when you see those horrible children that burn ants with a magnifying glass, they're concentrating sunlight through that glass to make it hot. The same thing can happen with a crystal ball. So either you have to leave it somewhere that's going to be in complete shade, or you have to cover this up. We're not saying it for spiritual reasons. We don't want you to burn your house down. So those are all the fire hazards that I'm most worried about. I would also be careful with clear quartz for that same reason. Just make sure you're not leaving these things in direct sunlight where they are going to amplify. And the same is actually true of jars of water. If you collect jars of moon water or sea water or something like that, and you leave them in the sunshine, they can have a similar effect as a crystal ball and create heat. So always be mindful of how and where you're storing your magical items, okay? Last safety tip really is only for people that have got pets, cats and dogs specifically, but other animals as well. If you are using essential oils, you must not use tea tree oil around your pets. It is extremely toxic to them. Not just if you apply it to them topically, but the smell of it can be toxic to them as well. That applies to incense as well as essential oils, scented candles, all those sorts of things. If you have pets in your house, you must check that your essential oils are safe to use around them, because not all of them are. Tea tree oil is one that comes to mind specifically, but with any essential oil, check first, make sure that it is not toxic to your pets, because you don't want to kill your familiar. That would be awful. With essential oils in general, it's really important to remember that you never put them directly onto your skin. If you want to create an oil that you can rub, like a temple rub or something like that, mix it with a carrier oil like almond oil or baby oil or any other kind of oil really, to dilute it, because they are too strong to go on your skin. They will irritate your skin and it will hurt you. Also, never ingest essential oils. They are not for eating. Okay, when you are using essential oils, they're for diffusing or for dressing candles and things like that. You dilute them down, you use them that way. You don't eat them. You don't put them directly on your skin. And you always make sure that they are not toxic to your pets. I would say the same thing or similar thing about if you are learning about herbalism as part of your practice. There are certain herbs that are extremely toxic. Okay, you might read that, for example, pennyroyal has abortifacient properties. It does. It will end a pregnancy if that's what you want to do. It might also end your life though. Okay, so you have to study how these things affect your body. But as well as that, you have to study how they will affect any medications that you are also on. A lot of people think, oh, it's a herb, it's plant, it's natural, that means it's safe. No, Mother Nature has put out an awful lot of plants that can kill you and an awful lot of plants that can interfere with your medications or with your brain chemistry, things like that. It is not safe to just be taking random combinations of herbs because you have read in one book that that does a thing. You have to check that it's not going to affect your medications, it's not going to affect your health, it's not going to have other effects that you don't know about. Proper herbalists spend a really, really long time studying these things, and I would recommend that if you are a new witch and you're interested in herbalism, that you spend a lot of time in your books and talking to more experienced practitioners, experts in these plants, pharmacists even, things like that, before you start dabbling in taking them yourself. Now, obviously, that doesn't apply to things like, you know, add a pinch of cinnamon to your hot chocolate to bring in some good luck vibes or whatever. It's really just for things that you're taking for a medicinal purpose. Those are just a couple of really basic safety tips. I'm sorry if they felt a bit too basic to you, but I do think it's really important that we learn to walk before we start trying to run. And so those little safety tips are important. Nobody wants you to burn your house down while you're learning the craft. Nobody wants you to poison yourself or poison your pet. These sorts of things, although they might seem like I am infantilizing you and calling you baby witch, they are important to keep you safe in your practice. I know you are possibly expecting me to talk about how to protect yourself in the astral plane, or how to make an energetic circle to protect your energy, or how to protect your house, and maybe I will do a video about those in the future. If you'd like that, comment and let me know. But the main safety tips, the basics, are really, really important. You would not start to learn to drive a car unless you knew how to operate the brakes. And so you shouldn't start messing about with herbs and incense and crystals and all that sort of thing unless you know the basic safety tips for them. So I hope you found that a little bit helpful and not too patronising. I'm sorry if you did. And like I said, if you would like a video about spiritually protecting yourself, things like that, let me know and I will try and do it. As I said, super quick one today, so I am going to be off, but I will be here next week vlogging about who knows what. I don't even know. We're still on chaos vlogs, but you're used to that from me by now, aren't you? If you can't wait till next week to see me again, I do understand. I am pretty awesome, but I will be here every single day in your shorts, taking a great big deep breath, letting you know what I'm grateful for. That gratitude practice has helped me so much, and being consistent with it has helped me so much in so many different areas, including my magical practice. So I would warmly encourage you to join in with that as often as you can, because when we start to develop that attitude of gratitude, we start to find so many more things to be grateful for. I'll also be here on a Wednesday doing a Witchy Wednesday card read for you, again in your shorts, just a quick one. Intuitive readings for you on that. So they might be for a particular star sign, they might be for a particular type of person. I really don't know until they come up. I sometimes do a Terrarium Tuesday as well, where I check in and Chaz on Dave, my terrariums, but to be honest with you, I forget that so often that I can't really promise it as a regular thing anymore. Until then though, you have yourself a magical week.